July 10, 2026. Today's reading from Encounter with God. 2 miracles. Opening prayer. Father, please keep me mindful of your presence, focused on your purposes, and aware of your pleasure as I seek to serve you today. Read Matthew chapter 14, verses 13 through 21. Jesus feeds the 5,000. When Jesus heard what had happened, he withdrew by boat privately to a solitary place. Hearing of this, the crowds followed him on foot from the towns. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them and healed their sick. As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away, so they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food." Jesus replied, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." "We have here only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish," they answered. "Bring them here to me," he said. And he directed the people to sit down on the grass. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the people. They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. The number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Reflect. The compassion of Jesus never fails. What about your compassion? When does it tend to fail? Consider this before God in prayer. Astounding though this miracle must have been to its first witnesses, it has become familiar to us, and so has perhaps lost some of its impact. However, if we consider that Jesus has just heard the news of the murder of his close relative John the Baptist, the narrative takes on new poignancy. Tom Wright is undoubtedly correct that the reason Jesus withdrew by boat privately to a solitary place was the same as ours would be in a similar bereavement, namely, to reflect, perhaps to pray, but above all, to be still and not have people bother you. The crowd shows no consideration for Jesus' need for both physical and emotional space, and yet he meets them not with irritation, but with compassion. Perhaps this compassion is as great a miracle as the creation of the food. We cannot plumb the depths of the mystery of Jesus' divinity and humanity. We cannot know how far his miracles were due to his uniqueness as God the Son, nor how far he was dependent on his Father for power through the Holy Spirit. However, we do know that after healing the woman with a hemorrhage, he was aware that power had gone out from him. We can deduce that, already emotionally drained by bereavement, he felt spiritually depleted after miraculously feeding this crowd. In the opening verses of tomorrow's reading, Jesus finds the time and space he had been seeking for replenishment through solitude and prayer. How do we respond when people's demands on us seem to exceed our spiritual and emotional resources? Can we ask the Lord to transform our own sense of weakness into compassion for them? Then, when their need has been attended to, can we make sure that we take time for renewal and revitalization? Apply. What do you find helpful for gaining emotional and spiritual replenishment? How will you ensure that you continue to avail yourself of these resources? Closing prayer. In ministries to others, Jesus, help me to be compassionate and selfless like you were, and to follow your examples for restoration.